Hey, this is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life, coming to you from beautiful Homosassa, Florida. I'm coming to you today with a daily word for men for January 17th, 2025, a Friday. The word for today is grace. God continues to give us more grace. That's why Scripture says God opposes those who are proud, but He gives grace to those who are humble. And that's from James 4, verse 6, the ESV. God is gracious. Your father figure may not have been. Somehow we twist these two together like a fishing line after a bad cast. It takes time to unravel our father figure in God. But God is gracious. He is kind. He loves unconditionally because He is love. His grace empowers us in our weakness. So that is what grace does. It allows weakness to exist so we can be strengthened by it. Because of our fathers, or because of our own fears, we may not allow weakness to show in ourselves. This results in us becoming internally ungracious and manifests itself in a discourteous manner to those around us. Through humility of heart and recognition of our brokenness, we can embrace grace. Grace gives us the strength we need to change. Let us become men who demonstrate from the inside out the goodness of graciousness. And the question for us is, what can you do to start extending grace to yourself and others to allow for growth? Well, I would tell a friend, first of all, that God's grace never diminishes, no matter how much He gives. It is a free gift, and it is theirs for the asking. His grace sustains the universe. He is not the universe. His grace sustains it, though. It is separate from God. And all you have to do is ask, and He will give you His grace. We have the example in the Bible of the woman with the bleeding disease. She just touched His cloak and got His grace. His grace is not limited by anything physical. It was an act of grace of God that He healed the centurion's servant. And He healed him from a distance. He didn't even have to be there. So His grace is not subject to physical laws. It's there for the asking. And that's, I put, grace knows no bounds. It is always present as God is present. And all I have to do is ask for it. So his mother asked him to do something about the wine. By grace, you know, He turned water into wine. Mary and Martha were concerned about Lazarus dying. And He said, don't worry. It was through the grace of God, His own power, that Lazarus was resurrected. So I see it kind of like oxygen. We get it and we don't even know it. We don't pay attention to it. It's all around us and it keeps us going. The only time we notice it is when it's not there. If we're underwater and our scuba tanks emptied, we'd notice quite quickly that there was something wrong with the oxygen supply. But God existed before the universe began, before time began, before matter began. He brought it into existence. It is separate from Him, and it is by His grace that it is maintained. It's a continually created thing from God. It isn't His grace. Grace isn't God. It's His gift or His essence to us. So that's my word for today. Have a safe and healthy day. And January is coming to a close. We passed the midpoint. We're downhill. I know up north. Hey, I even got a snowstorm once. I had a visitor from Florida up, and it was May, and the roses were blooming, and it snowed, and they couldn't believe it. So I think they get a lot more snow to worry about. Luckily, down here we don't. So God bless you all. See you tomorrow.